Lexicata, what it does, and get to know you guys a little bit more. So first off, can you tell us a little bit of a brief background about you and what made you start Lexicata?
Yeah, for sure. So background on me, kind of born and raised in Southern California. Spent some time on the East Coast. I went to school in North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and basically kind of had a real interest in law, not necessarily practicing, but running my own business. So I ended up going to Loyola Law School in Loyola Marymount here in Los Angeles. I did my JD MBA there. And while I was in law school, I actually met one of my friends, Aaron George, is my co-founder. And basically, both of us kind of had the inkling that we didn't really want to practice. We more want to use our legal knowledge on the more of the business side of things. So we ended up starting a business, and that first business was our first company, which is LawKick, Lawkick. And basically what that was a marketplace to connect lawyers and clients. So basically kind of like an Uber or an Odesk or an Angie's List type of thing, where you could basically, kind of, hey, I need legal help for this. Can someone help me? And then you get kind of like bids from lawyers. Basically, what we found out from that first business, which was going pretty well for a while, but what basically we found out was, two fundamental problems. One is that the lawyers were really bad at doing sales. So basically, they would get a lead or a prospect, and then they would do no follow-up, and a lot of these clients would just like not really be too anxious to hire a lawyer, so they ended up kind of like dragging their feet along the process. And then what we also found out was that the clients were really unhappy with the process. I'd use the best example I always use is kind of like ordering an Uber, getting in, getting dropped off, and then Uber asking for cash. Doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're going to kind of like fix one thing, you fix the whole thing. So basically, it was just a really friction-filled process for the lawyers and for the clients. So we decided that we had to build something to help with that process. And that's kind of where Lexicata came from, is to help with the client intake and the sales and tracking and follow-up process for prospects for law firms.
Great. So it's all about reducing friction. That sounds pretty cool. And so is LawKick still around, or did you guys wind that down?
Yeah, so LawKick's still around. We don't work on it too much. Platforms still use, lawyers still use it, clients still come through it. Eventually, what we'll probably do is loop it back in, where Lexicata kind of integrates with LawKick. But for now, Lexicata, we originally kind of built Lexicata to help LawKick grow, and then Lexicata became so popular on its own that we actually rolled it out as a separate service, and now it's become so popular that we kind of focused on that. So eventually, we'll probably bring it back in the mix, but for now, Lexicata is our main focus.
All right. And when did Lexicata kick off?
So obviously kind of, complicated question, because it was in the works while we were doing LawKick a couple of years ago. And it's kind of gradually built into, kind of grown into more of a mature software. But Lexicata really has been around. We kind of came up with the idea probably about 2.5 years ago. And then we started building it, and then obviously took, 6 months to build it. Basically, we've been around for about 2 years or so.
Great. All right, and going strong.